The book of Daniel opened up and unsealed, spectacularly, colorfully, and graphically. If a picture paints 1,000 words, and a vision broadcasts 1,000,000, a graphic condenses 1,000,000,000. This presentation is dedicated to Almighty God, the first and the last, the one who knows the end from the beginning. The forward, for the scholars and the laypersons, for the learned and the ignorant ones, for the wise and the simple. This book of Daniel opened up and unsealed will convince any sceptic the bullseye accuracy of the ancient prophecies of the Bible right in and out of the pages of your daily newspaper. So let's watch daily as predicted history, inspired by a divine author, continue to unfold, and age-old predictions continue to be fulfilled today, tomorrow, and the day after, until Christ himself comes again the second time, the climax and culmination of all biblical prophecy. Maranatha. Welcome to Babylon world, 600 years BC. The crowning achievement of Nebuchadnezzar's reign was the transformation of the city of Babylon into a cultural, political, and economic center of the empire. This picture shows a procession marching along the processional way through the Ishtar Gate, guarding the northern entrance to the city. Just inside, to the right, are the fabled hanging gardens, cultivated on the terraces of the king's palace. Beyond them rises a 7-story ziggurat, sometimes identified with the biblical Tower of Babel. Daniel updated, first in prophecy, next in news. The prophet Daniel is the future news visualizer. His stunningly accurate predictions for 2,600 years ago are really coming alive today in our own time, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear. All of what he had prophesied had actually happened as confirmed by archaeology and history. But the most amazing thing is that what would soon happen in the future, we can even now have a sneak preview of the things that he saw and prophesied. Clay documents confirm the Bible. This Babylonian chronicle records events in 605 to 594 BC, including Nebuchadnezzar's ascension, campaigns in Syria, Palestine, and the capture of Jerusalem on the 15th or 16th of March 597 BC. And on this tablet to the right, found in Babylon, Joachim, king of Judah, and his sons are named among recipients of rations given to prisoners held at Babylon. So both events, the siege and fall of Jerusalem and the exile of King Joachim and his sons, are confirmed by archaeology and history. Babylonian crown. This photo shows how a Babylonian king would have looked like in Daniel's time. The new Southern Empire, founded by the father of Nebuchadnezzar II, called Nabopolassar in 626 BC, ended in less than a century, when the son of Nabonidus, named Belshazzar, was killed by the Persians in the night Babylon fell in 539 BC. Babylonian gods and kings. The top picture shows the Babylonian god Marduk, or Hebrew Merodach, who wears a royal crown and holds the rod and ring, symbols of authority. He is here depicted on his symbol, a composite creature called Mushmushu, whose body was a serpent. And the bottom two photos shows boundary stones depicting Babylonian kings. And the top photo shows impression on a new Babylonian seal showing a worshipper before the split symbol of Marduk or Merodach on the back of the god's dragon Mushmushu. Babylonian fashions, archers, and arrowheads. As befitting their great empire, the Babylonians favored heavy, richly ornamented clothing. Letters on pottery. Archaeologists have discovered burnt walls and broken utensils. In the gatehouse written on pieces of broken pottery was a collection of 18 notes and messages, among them letters from a Judean soldier to his commanding officer at Lachish from those final days as the Babylonian forces advanced. Daniel had already been taken as a Babylonian exile or hostage a decade earlier in 606 BC in the first siege of the city Jerusalem, serving to warn the locals against future revolt. And these bronze arrowheads from about 600 years BC have been recovered from CLIMAX, site of the decisive battle between Pharaoh Necho of Egypt and the Babylonian army led by Nebuchadnezzar. Great Gate. The Star Gate was by far the most splendid gate building in Babylon. It was through this gate that the processional way led from the ziggurat to the New Year temple outside the city. Doubtless, it was also meant to show off the adjoining palace. The whole gate, as well as the passage leading to it, was clad with brick reliefs decorated with color glazes. The originals are in the Museum of the Near East in Berlin. In Babylon, a copy has been erected. The nobly pleasing animals correspond to the most important deities: the lion of Ishtar, the ox of the weather god Adad, the dragon of the city god Marduk. Great city. King Nebuchadnezzar II had much of Babylon rebuilt. A protective moat 262 feet wide enclosed the inner city, and double walls 5 miles long and wide enough for chariots to be driven along the top were built. These were pierced by 8 fortified gateways. The drawing shows Great Babylon, with its temples and grand processional way, approached through the Star Gate. Great ruins. The top photo shows the ruins of ancient Babylon. The bottom photo shows a great reconstruction, a model reconstruction of the procession way leading to the Star Gate at Babylon. The map above shows Babylonia and the areas under the influence of the ancient Babylonian Empire. Babylon World Center. This table on the left outlines the world of the time of Sargon of Akkad, around 2300 years BC, depicted as a circle surrounded by water with Babylon at its center. This is possibly the oldest map yet found. And the map on the right shows the plan of Babylon at the time of Nebuchadnezzar II, surrounded by canals with the river Euphrates running through the center.